tales start to grow. Meet Mo the skeleton with his phony grin, and Vault his co-host. Let the stories begin. From the paranormal to the political scene, we dive into the unknown, if you know what I mean. Cryptocurrency madness, gaming world so vast. We're bringing you the future and echoes from the past. Tales from the crypto where the shadows come alive. Mo and Vault are your guides. Let's take a dive in the crypto secrets. We unravel the law. Hold on tight, 'cause we've got so much more. Whispers of ghosts in the halls of the old, haunted by the memories of stories untold. Political shadows creeping in the night. Mo and Vault, we're shining the light. From the paranormal to the political scene, we dive into the unknown, if you know what I mean. Cryptocurrency madness, gaming world so vast. We're bringing you the future and echoes from the past. Tales from the crypto where the shadows come alive. Mo and Vault are your guides. Let's take a dive in the crypto secrets. We unravel the law. Hold on tight, 'cause we've got so much more. In the world of games where the legends are born, Vault's got the cheat codes and Mo's battle worn. Digital currency's changing the game. The world's in our hands and nothing's the same. Politics brewing like a storm in the night. We dig deep to find what's wrong and what's right.
On me millionaire, bullish on that cryptocurrency, yeah, you know it. Ever since the pandemic, we've been really on it. Bullish on it, cop an NFT every morning. On me millionaire, lifestyle never boring. Moon boy, watch them charts start soaring. Crypto to a Lambo, it's a foreign. I've been all around the VV-verse, we've been touring. FOMO, fear, missing out while we scoring. On me millionaire, cause you know when it rains, it be pouring. We was all investing, they was snoring. Now look at my collection, it's enormous. On me millionaire, bullish on that cryptocurrency, yeah, you know it. Ever since the pandemic, we've been really on it. Bullish on it, cop an NFT every morning. On me millionaire, lifestyle never boring. Meet me there, on the moon, it's important. Thank you to everybody that supported. Now we poppin' champagne, that's important. And we kept playing the game, ain't aborted. Solid diamond hands are rewarded.
What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. It's time for this week's Tales from the Crypto with the big homie MoKnowz. What's up, Mo? Yo. Let's go. Oh, I forgot to unmute you.
Back.
I got you down there.
Okay, good. We're on Mo and Tell anyway. What's up, brother? How you
happening?
doing? Chat. It is a beautiful Tuesday. Yeah, got a lot going on, and I was just waking up, fucking dozed off at like 3:30.
Nice little.
What's up with you, man? How
Midday
you been?
nap. I'm doing good, man. I'm feeling all right. Getting used to all this dental care that I've been getting lately. Still have a little bit of a speech impediment, it feels like, but I'm getting through it. I'm getting used to them. They're not too bad. They were worth the pain that I had to go through to get them. Shout out to Chad today. And he also gave me the article, the BB article of the big announcement where they're going to be having OMI to gem. So you can trade your OMI tokens in for gems, which I'm sure people are hoping. ETH whales, people like that, big crypto whales, if they want to get into the BB app, they can now do it without having to deposit money from their bank account. They can just use it by converting whatever crypto they have into OMI and going through Stack R. Shout out to Denny OC's in the chat. Ahoy, ahoy. We got my man Type Override. Actually, I don't even know who Type Override is. I don't know if I've seen that name before. What's up, Type? Thanks for hanging out with us. It's probably Tucson or somebody, but we got lots of cool
Probably
stuff.
Terrell Owens. T.O.
T.O. That's true. It could be T.O. And speaking of O's, I got that jersey on, Mo. What jersey is this?
Is that a Wake Forest jersey? Indiana jersey?
Oh, come on. It's got to be a Pacers jersey. You already know that.
I know. I figured that. I don't know if it's a color on my. That's like a Wake Forest gold more than like yellow.
It might be my filter. Denny OC says VB's forcing Stacker on users. Yeah, they've been doing that for a while. You have no choice but to sign up with Stacker at this point, and I don't think I ever have yet. But that's where you're going to be able to do the Omi to Gem purchases. We'll take a look at the blog, the article, and go over it and see what everybody thinks about it. Rob T already knows.
Walter Burton.
Baltimore.
Yeah, I assumed it was a Halliburton. I'm like, other than that, I don't know anybody on the team.
Well, my other
Except that
favorite
white guy.
player was be like Miles Turner, and they traded him. So, all right, let's get into our first topic of the night. Like always, is going to be paranormal. We got some cool paranormal topics to talk about too, actually, today. I like that though. Walter Burton. That is Tyrese Halliburton. He's going to be out for the entire season. We'll be talking about sports here in a second, though. But first, let's get into this week's topic on paranormal. As we mentioned last week, Mo had sent me over a couple videos of crop circles as they're heading, and I was like, whoa. If we're going to talk crop circles, we got to really get into it, because I know a thing or two about crop circles myself. So we do have those videos, and I'm going to show you some past crop circles and tell you a little bit about them, because a lot of people, when they hear about crop circles, they feel like they've already been debunked and that it's just a bunch of teenagers or old dudes out in the fields with boards on their feet, just kicking the wheat down themselves and making the designs themselves. And they've done some demonstrations where the dudes actually do it overnight or whatever, but it's always really sloppy. And there's been really good studies about it that they don't really talk about very often, where they've noted that during these crop circle formations, the ones that are really kind of unexplained, that the nodes in the plants are exploded, which means really high temperatures, and it's not something that would happen by stepping on it from a board. And of course, like, the stalks don't break. Sometimes the stalks are even weaved together. So take that with what you will, but keep that in mind as we go through the next video. And I'll show you some crop circles from the past 20 or 30 years that have happened. And here in a second, we're going to get to a video that has a little bit of sound, and that's going to be the one that we talk about. So in 1996, there was this dude out in Oliver's Castle, United Kingdom, named John Waylay actually, and he was walking outside, and apparently he was woke up by some weird buzz. He lived by a farm, of course, so he walked outside to see what it was. He grabbed his camera as he was walking out there, and he saw some stuff in the field, and he filmed it. So a little bit of controversy behind this video. It's about to start right now. You'll hear a guy talking in a second to give you the details, but this is the video back in 1996. It'll be here it comes.
That the crop circle was not here on the previous day but had appeared on the following morning was a fact. That John Waylay was here at dawn could be confirmed by a military patrol that happened to be jogging by at the time. John went to the local pub later that same day and showed his film to the people there. Even so, many believe that he had managed to manipulate the film with computer animation in the meantime, something that computer animation experts doubt. To overlay a perfect animation over a handheld, unstable film would need several days of work using the computer equipment at that time. Even today, the film is still a great mystery, and John has gone underground due to the intense interest that his film created.
Is he still talking? I think he's still talking. Yeah, so as you can hear, the story is that this guy saw these and he filmed them. Then he went home for a few hours, then he went to the bar and showed his friends. And all the people who say it's fake basically say that in that amount of a few hours, he edited that video together. But I mean, that's some really high-tech editing, and it was 1996. So I heard on, I don't know if that guy said it himself, but on another video that I watched about it, they said it was pretty much, the experts say it would be pretty impossible. It would take a couple of days to edit something that well. And like that guy that was speaking just said, he was spotted by some officers as he was out there. So there's proof that he was there. That one is really convincing to me. And then also what happened in 1991 is pretty wild too. It's called the Mandelbrot Fractal. It's a crop circle that happened in Cambridge, England. And here, let me show you what it looks like. And the thing about this
Mandelbrot.
Mandelbrot fractal, and what I found out, what I heard about all these stories here, was when they had the Wi-Fi's guy on Joe Rogan. It wasn't that long ago, and they got into crop circles, and the Wi-Fi's guy said that crop circles and hollow moon are the two things that actually that he believes are true mysteries or actual conspiracies that are true. And he's the guy that goes through all of them. He studies them. And the fact that they were able to create this at a time in 1991 when the Mandelbrot fractal hadn't really been discovered yet, or it had just been discovered, and regular people wouldn't know about it. It's like super, super complex, and the experts say it's too complex for somebody to create a crop circle out of, especially the one that they did, because it's so precise down to the very last bit. And then the ones that Mo sent me, I was looking to as well. This is people asking, like, why.
These are more recent too, I think.
Yeah,
most of them.
People asking nowadays that everybody has a camera out, why aren't we seeing crop circles as they happen? So people started looking around to farmers who had videos set up or cameras set up outside of their farms, and sure enough, some farmers have filmed crop circles as they happen. So of course, if you look in the comments of any of these videos, people are going to say it's AI or it's manipulated. You judge for yourself. If it's real, like I was telling Mo, if it's real, then it's wild. This is just happened right there in front of your face.
Well, I mean, they share a lot of similarities with, again, the old videos from before time, of editing and AI. So that would kind of negate that. I know the one that I sent you. Yeah, we're looking at it now. I mean, dude, some of the stuff on here, bro, it's like, if that's video editing, especially like the one with them circling off the camera, coming back into frame.
Yeah, and there's static going on and everything. I mean, that's some good editing. Who is going to sit there and spend that time? This is the one I found, where it's like up close, but somebody's like, it's AI. I don't know. CCTV footage of a crop circle as it happens. What's up, OG El Che in the house? What's up, my man? Says, long time no see. It's going pretty good. This is our weekly show Me and Mo does every Tuesday. If you ever want to come by and hang out with us from 6 to 8 p.m. And every once in a while, I still stream drops. I did one a couple weeks ago, but there's no drops worth streaming these days. Grandma Moore says, looks like drones making the crop design before we had drones. Yeah, 1996 was before drones came out. But then again, maybe somebody with advanced technology, whether it be private or government, had those drones already, that drone technology, and they were doing that on purpose to make people talk. Some people think that they want us to believe in UFOs and crop circles because it keeps us away from thinking about what they're doing, stealing our money or doing this, doing bad things. So maybe it's a little bit of this, maybe it's a little bit of that. I don't know. But the crop circles thing is really wild, because if you look deep into it, they went a really long distance to discredit the people that were trying to prove the crop circles right. Back in the 1990s when these videos came out, a lot of it was happening down in the United Kingdom, but they even had like a live stream, like before live streams, it was like live on TV for 24 hours or something, trying to catch a crop circle as it happens. And we found out later that there was like some military down the road, like preventing people from getting in, or preventing, I don't know. It was like they went a long way to discredit crop circles, but if you look deep into it, there's really not a lot to discredit them.
Yeah, and I mean, it kind of goes what we talk about with the pyramids all the time, right? Like, if you're going to tell me that these were just, it's so easy to do with, the layout, the mathematics, okay, do it today. Do it today. And it's the same thing with crop circles. If you look at any people that, man-made crop circles and they try to like fake them and recreate, they don't look that good. They got choppy edges. They're not precise like the ones that we see here on some of these images. So,
that's what a lot of people say about that Mandelbrot. Was it called Mandelbrot fractal thing? Because the BBC actually tried to recreate it in one night, and the skeptics will say, look, they did it. But the believers will say, look at the ones that BBC did. It's real sloppy. It doesn't look nothing like this one. I don't know. I couldn't find footage of the one that BBC did to compare them myself. But they try to recreate them, and people will just say, it don't look as good. What's up, Dane K? Good to see my man. Says, BB just announced cash out only through Stackers. Only through Stacker. Only? Starting in November. What? Is that true? That's cap. Is that FUD? Let me get
Wait, what? So they completely removed the bridge to regular fiat?
We're going to talk about BB when we get to crypto.
Yeah, I know we get to that section. That's crazy.
That is crazy. And we just had a a big community update too. They should have mentioned that in the community update. I watched it. I didn't hear that part.
Wow.
But another big thing that happened in the world of paranormal activity this week. I don't know if you saw this, Mo, or if anybody in the chat saw it, but is it Representative? She's a congresswoman, and her name is Anna.
Oh, the Rogan, yeah.
Yeah, Anna Paulina Luna. She was on Joe Rogan, and we probably can't show footage of the Joe Rogan podcast, so I just have some quotes pulled up here of some stuff that she said while she was on the podcast. For example, she was talking about UFOs or aliens, and she told Joe, based on the photos that I've seen, I'm very confident that there's things out there that have not been created by mankind. She also said, I think that they can actually operate through the time spaces that we currently have. And she said, and that's not something that I came up with on my own, that's based on stuff that we've seen, that's based on information that we've been told. And she also said that, I couldn't find the quote, but I watched it myself. She said something about interdimensional beings, like she's sure that interdimensional beings exist. But when Joe pressed her on it a little bit, so like, how do you know? And she said, because of people's testimony. And I think he's like, how do you know that they're telling the truth? And then eventually she just goes on, oh, I can't talk about stuff that's classified, but it's a pretty wild interview if you guys want to check it out. If you're interested in UFOs, I mean, it's somebody who's a member of Congress, and she's talking about these skiffs that she's been in where she's getting top secret information. And from that information, she's just giving her conclusions. Like, if you saw that information yourself, basically is what she's saying, then you would believe also, because she is a true believer. I wonder if there's any Congress people who don't believe in aliens, or have they all been privy to this information so they're all believers? I haven't heard of any Congress person saying, I don't believe in aliens, because they all know the truth. I don't know, Mo. What do you think about this Luna lady and what she's talking about?
I mean, it is true. You don't really see government going out of their way to tell people that aliens don't exist.
True.
You know, but you don't really see them coming out being like, oh yeah, we've seen it, you know. We've seen the UFOs, you know, we've been there. Like, nah, we don't see that. But again, I mean, I watched bits and pieces of that. She talked about I guess the flights, whatever she was on with pilots in the air, like the military planes or whatever.
Yep.
And she was talking about, you know, things that she witnessed herself or saw, you know, on these trips. And she'll like ask the pilots, and they're like, well, if I want to keep my flight status, we don't talk about it.
Right.
Because if you want to keep working, you want to keep, you know, your career, you don't want people to get down and be like, oh, yep, there's a crazy person up there. You know, they said they're out there seeing UAPs and they're seeing UFOs. I mean, but from what she was saying, and I don't really think she has much reason to lie about this.
Me neither.
It just seemed like, yeah. The thing about distractions is that there's normally like a whole pomp and circumstance and a whole song and dance that comes along with it. You know, it's kind of like if they're asked about it, they respond. You know, it's not like they're out there trying to like drop little breadcrumbs and get people to start asking questions. I mean, that's the way I see it anyway. But yeah, I mean, it could all be a government cover-up. Why not?
It could also
More
all
fun.
be part of disclosure. It's just a little bit of disclosure at a time until people get used to the idea. That's another.
Well, look at the whistleblowers, right? Like, if you're a whistleblower, I don't believe these fucking people. They're not really bucking the system, dude. Like, yeah, if they want to say something, they have to get fucking approval, like from the fucking government and shit, from the fucking, you know, the branch itself to even say anything. Fuck that. If you're a whistleblower and you want to blow it up, blow it up. But yet, you still have to get approval and shit, because that's a whistleblower thing. That's why I don't even like whistleblowers, you know?
You don't like whistleblowers?
No, because I don't believe them. They're just trying to get like their 15 minutes of fame.
And it could be disinformation too. I know. But I mean, that's the only way you get the information, though. How can you not like whistleblowers? But I hear what you're saying, though. That's also
Well,
true.
I mean, listen, I appreciate them, but I'm not going to believe what they say when it's like, oh, well, I have to get clearance on saying this and that before I even say
That's
it.
that latest.
You know what I
That's
mean?
that David Grohl guy or whatever his name is. Yeah, that's what he was saying to Congress, that he had to get clearance to talk about stuff. Like, you're not a whistleblower, then. That's a different thing.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But it's like, but a lot of these whistleblowers, they're like, well, listen, you know, I got clearance to say, you know, this and that and the other up until a certain point.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, now again, is there certain government clearance and stuff like that? You might put, you know, sensitive information at risk if you go too far, if that's the reason. Sure. I mean, I'll buy that. But it just seems like, oh, we'll just like you were saying, like let's just leak out certain things to get people talking and distract them from some of the bigger issues going on. You know what I mean?
From
Um,
Epstein, maybe. I don't know. All right, let's
well,
go ahead
yeah.
and move on to the
But real
next.
quick, it does kind of tie in. I was watching the Mr. Beast Team Water thing that did. They raised like $12 million on his first live stream ever on Kick.
Oh wow.
12 mil. But they were calling big shots on people with a lot of money and kind of like forcing them and put pressure on stream, which some people didn't think was cool. But again, I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at like the little piece of information you pull out of it quickly. And they were talking to Mr. Beast about Antarctica. And you can see how quickly he wants to avoid the situation. Where basically he said, listen, if you're in Antarctica, you're not there alone. There's always people there with you. Like, you're not allowed to just go wander off and go, fucking investigate things. He's like, if you're in Antarctica, you are there with somebody. You're being, guided through, and there is no, like, free tour. So that was a pretty interesting part, I thought, that he said, because you've heard stories about this where it's like, oh, make one wrong, turn in Antarctica, and they're fucking flagging you down and making you land, Like,
Yeah, we've talked about Antarctica on here before, especially like the Robert
Yeah.
Byrd stuff. I mean, there's definitely some weird stuff going on. There's a guy recently who was a military contractor on Antarctica who came and was trying to be a whistleblower and talking about all this crazy stuff that's going on, and most people just didn't believe him because it was so freaking crazy.
yeah. But again, like, it wasn't even Mr. Beast wasn't going out of his way to be like, oh, let me freak you guys out about government and, corruption and shit. He would just be like, listen, they started talking about it, and you instantly saw the look on his face where he's like, I don't want to talk about this. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like when the Y-Files guy when he was on Rogan too, he talked about it. Was it him? Yeah, it was him. Where he started talking about like the CIA.
Mhm.
And he was instantly like, yeah, I don't really like to cover a lot of that shit. He's like, because he doesn't want them knocking on his fucking door.
And they
You know
will,
what I
too.
mean?
They probably will. Absolutely.
Yep, they absolutely will. So you got to be careful. But anyway, yeah, I thought the Rogan show with Representative Luna, whatever her name is, I thought it was all right. I want to watch the whole thing, but some Rogan shows, man, I don't know. I just prefer the clips.
Yeah, I don't think I could watch that whole interview. But the clip, I did put the link down in the description under sources if you guys want to check it out yourself. It is pretty interesting to hear a U.S. representative, a congressman, a congresswoman saying that stuff. All right, y'all. We're going to talk about sports now. And there's not a lot going on in sports right now, at least that I'm aware of. But the big story that a lot of people are talking about is this Minnesota Vikings cheerleader. So let me show you this video of I forget his name, and I'll say here in a second. It's Louis. Let's watch Louis bring in the heat, because he is getting it, and people are not happy about it. And I don't know, Mo, how you feel about him. Looks like you're enjoying it, right? I'm just saying. It's something I couldn't do. And my question is this a new thing? Didn't they always have male cheerleaders in the NFL?
Yeah, and it's not even the male cheerleader aspect that people have an issue with. It's like this flamboyant, over the top, arched back. Like, this is a. Yeah, I mean, again, listen. I had this conversation with a buddy of mine. Like, we used to hang out with these chicks growing up, and they were all cheerleaders, and they would do like basket tosses and stuff. And yeah, guess what? Like, we'd be sitting there on the curb, and or the sideline to the schoolyard. They pull us up and be like, "Hey, throw us up in a basket toss." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, catch us, like things like that. Again, like, these are what the males have typically been used for, and I don't think people have an issue with males being cheerleaders. But this shit right here, yeah, that's,
I don't understand.
listen, I'm not gonna go fucking create an uproar about it, but I can see why some people might, if that makes any sense. But I personally don't really give a fuck. I mean, live your life, Louis. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing. But
He's making a
it's
lot
a
of
bit
money.
much.
If he's a Vikings cheerleader, he's getting paid. He's doing it.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I said, do your thing. I tell people all the time, do whatever the fuck you want in life. But if you start affecting my day to day, we have an issue. And that doesn't affect my day to day. Honestly, it doesn't.
Right. Absolutely not. No, I'm impressed at his dancing skills. I don't think he could be twerking with no butt like that, but he pulls it off.
Now,
anyways.
I seen some crazy shit. I don't know if I can find the video from Mo and Tell real quick. There was some one-legged homeless person twerking.
On a boat?
I think it was on the street in New York.
Oh, I saw a one-legged twerker on a boat once. Not personally, but a video.
This was recent. It was like a video I just seen. I was like, hey, I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty impressive. I'm like, how do you even do that?
All right, and then another sports topic that I had for today was something that apparently has been going on for a long time, and maybe a lot of people in the chat know about it. Maybe Mo knows about it. I guess this is probably crypto people know a lot about it. I'm just finding this out. Did y'all know that Scottie Pippen, he has dreams of Satoshi Nakamoto, the inventor of Bitcoin, who nobody knows is, and Satoshi gives him predictions, and he tells people the predictions, and he seems to always be right about it. And you can actually go and look at some of his predictions where he says it's going to be 81,000 by 100,000. Oh, Pippen predicted Bitcoin would hit 81,000 before reaching 100,000 again, which a lot of people wasn't expecting to happen, and it came true a few months later. He also predicted in September 2024 that Bitcoin would reach 84,650 on election day, and it hit it about 2 weeks later. And he says he gets all this information from dreams of Satoshi Nakamoto, the founder of Bitcoin. Has appeared in his dreams since 1993. So he's been investing in Bitcoin for a long time. This dude's probably balling. We're talking Scottie Pippen here, the right-hand man to Michael Jordan. He says more recently he's offered commentary calling Bitcoin dirt cheap when it was over $100,000 and predicting a $10 million price point for Bitcoin as destiny. And I saw somewhere where he's no longer giving out predictions. So I don't know. What do you think about Scottie Pippen giving out the alpha?
We talked about this, and I feel like this almost drops into the paranormal topic.
Yeah.
You know, me, and again, this is anecdotal. I know Big A is probably going to chime in somewhere. Anecdotal. I have personally had 3 to 4 like real crazy experiences where I've done things in my sleep. I've either solved complex things I was trying to do, or my favorite is back in 1999, 2000. Anyway, I had a dream, right? Just like during the Mortal Kombat days.
Mm-hmm.
I had a dream that I was using Baraka in Mortal Kombat 3.
Okay.
And this is before the internet. This is before like all these real like the internet, everything was popping off, right? I had this crazy fucking dream that I was using every character ever made in Mortal Kombat. And I told my friends at the arcade or whatever, and they were all like, "Oh, you fucking weirdo." Like, bro, a week later they announced Mortal Kombat Trilogy.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's where they brought like every fucking Mortal Kombat character. And bro, but I was like so in tune to the Mortal Kombat world back then. I feel like I was on that wavelength to the point where like it would have soaked into my sleep. You know what I mean?
That's
so
powerful.
I believe in this shit, bro.
That's crazy.
100%. Yeah, but to me, that was like my craziest call ever. I was like, yeah, it was so real, man. I was playing with every Mortal Kombat character ever made. And then, people like, hey, no, that's not even a thing, bro. Like, what the fuck, blah, blah. And yeah, a week later. And we found out through a magazine. So we weren't even like reading on the internet where it's like, oh, it could have been late breaking news on, Twitter.
Right.
It wasn't even like that. So, we got
awesome
this shit.
game too. I remember Trilogy. Shout out to Alejandro's in the chat. What's up, Alejandro? Grandma Moore says
We did have. Sorry, yeah, I was going to say, if we have Mo and Tell maybe for a moment, we did have one piece of WNBA update.
Okay,
I don't know if you
we
you
have
caught
another
up on.
dildo on the court.
Yeah, basically they just put out it was like a PSA. You guys probably won't get the sound, but at least be able to. Oh, wait a second! No.
I was afraid we weren't going to have a dildo update for the week. I'm glad to hear we do. This is your place
Here we
for
go.
one stop. Whoa.
This is from the WNBA.
Dildo
Now, I don't
boys.
know if there is sound, but I don't.
I don't know if we can show this.
Yeah, you show a little dildo. You just can't show it in a sexual use.
Well, too late now.
Which, speaking of that line,
Oh my goodness.
yeah, I mean, listen, this is what they should do. They should actually like lean into it, not like that, but
He was really leaning into it.
yeah. And they just played into it. They'd probably make so much more money.
What's it?
And now we know who the culprit is. Did you see Grandma? Grandma had the fucking bag of dildos, bro. But anyway, that was a little,
No more bags allowed. Yeah, they're raining. No, I think they're being really cautious.
That's my
about
favorite at the end, bro.
where he's wiping them up with the
Evil
broom.
janitor, bro.
Sometimes
We
you
got the
gotta do it.
fucking popcorn. You got the fucking Dr. Pepper. You got the rainbow dildo. That shit's funny.
All right, let's move on to our next topic, everybody's favorite. Let's talk some politics and what's going on in the world of politics. There's always a lot of stuff going on within the last week when Trump is president.
Content president, baby.
And whatever you guys want to talk about in the chat, whatever you want to talk about, Mo, just let me know because, like I said, there's plenty of different things. I'm just picking out stuff that I bookmarked this week that I thought was either crazy or an issue. Like the first thing, this is an issue. This just happened. President Trump is supposedly signing an executive order that will eliminate all mail-in ballots and voting machines. And this is right after he met with Putin, and Putin told him that he won the 2020 election, and the reason he didn't win is because America has mail-in voting, and that America is the only country with mail-in voting, and that's why you're getting scammed. And Trump went out there and just told everybody that too, and of course it's 100% not true. There's dozens and dozens of countries that have mail-in voting, including Russia has mail-in voting, and so does Canada, United Kingdom, South Korea. So it's just complete crap. And then with the whole voting machines that they're trying to get rid of, Newsmax just agreed to a settlement for $67 million for saying that the Dominion voting machines were giving out fake votes, and earlier they had to pay $40 million to a whole different voting machine place because they couldn't prove in any way, and the voting machines places were able to prove that there was no cheating going on. So we still have this whole lie about election fraud that isn't happening. Nobody can ever prove any type of election fraud, but it still is in everybody's mind, and that they use that as their reasoning. Like, well, people aren't confident in the election. That's the reason why we got to get rid of mail-in voting, and change the voting machines. That the reason they're not confident is because you keep lying about what's going on. So it's kind of like a catch-22. It's like a scam that they're perpetrating onto us. What do you think about it, Mo?
Well, I mean, I'm a Republican, right? I'm a Trumper, so obviously I got to say he's right. Daddy's right. No, obviously I don't. Never understood, like you said. I mean, any other country with a democracy, as far as I know, uses mail-in voting, and I don't know about machines per se, but I know mail-in voting is, again, just really like a non-factor. Like, why even bother? But, and again, it's like, if it even made sense, why even come out and say it like that? Like, oh, if they're saying that's why, the elections were so close and I should have won by a landslide, it's like, this is always my problem with Trump. As much as I love him, it's like, you're just like wasting. Do you have that much time? Like, do you have that much fucking time and energy every day? I don't think you do. You have other things you should probably be doing.
It's the narcissism in him.
Yeah, it's just weird. Like I said, I'm always like, 7 things I'm on board with, 3 I'm not. This is definitely one of the 3. I don't really understand it. And like you said, I mean, this is why people have to be careful when you're out there running your mouth. Maybe not people like me and you, but when you hit a certain threshold of like popularity and fame, you gotta be careful when you open your mouth because you will get slapped with defamation lawsuits, and
Definitely. Yeah, he likes to sue everybody.
you will have to pay.
I think the whole
well, no, not even him. I'm just saying in the real world, if you like with the Newsmax and Dominion, right?
Yeah.
Like if you want to get out there and just keep running your mouth and be all adamant about it, well, you better be right.
I don't
that's why you
understand
see
why they
nowadays
sue Trump, because Trump's doing the same thing. They sued Newsmax, and I think they sued Fox News, but they weren't like suing individuals for some reason.
Yeah, I mean that. Maybe they think it's easier to go after the outlet and like silence the outlet themselves. I don't know.
Because the outlets are probably more likely to settle, and that's what they did do. Newsmax settled for $67 million, which is a whole lot. They're pretty much admitting that they lied. So that's kind of wild. And another thing I want to note on that, the whole mail-in voting thing, is it's an advantage for Trump now to get rid of mail-in voting. But before Trump, mail-in voting was always an advantage for Republicans. It wasn't until Trump ran for election in 2016 and demonized mail-in voting and told people not to do mail-in voting that Democrats were the ones that won the mail-in voting. It used to be always that the Republicans were the ones that did the most mail-in voting because they're the senior citizens. They don't want to get out of their house and go to the voting poll and stay in line for 2 hours. Alejandro says, I'm not really into politics, but Trump flying the B-2 bombers on top of Putin was pretty badass. All right, let's see what Trump thinks about it. I know he's the type of person who's modest, so he'll give us his honest opinion.
Look, I hate to do it, but I will do it. I would give myself an A+. Is that enough? Can I go higher than that?
Yeah, imagine that. He gives himself an A+. What do you think about that? All right, when it comes to Jerry...
I didn't realize you had a video playing. I was a little behind. I was like, oh, shit.
It was a little bit of lag, sorry. Yeah, on the gerrymandering, too, what's going on, we were talking about last week where Texas is planning on gerrymandering so that they can give 5 more seats to Republicans in Congress. And Gavin Newsom...
Oh, the redistricting?
Yeah. And Gavin Newsom has countered that, said he's going to redistrict or gerrymander California so that Democrats receive some more congressmen out of his state. And then there's other governors in other states who are talking about doing it as well. I thought it was really wild that Greg Abbott came out with a statement today, I think it was either today or yesterday, where he's talking about how what Democrats have done is potentially illegal. If California is trying to squeeze out more Republicans, there will be lawsuits that overturn that. He's pretty much calling what Democrats are doing illegal and disgraceful. He says disgraceful as well. They're doing it in response to what he's doing. He's literally doing the same thing. Also, Texas only does their redistricting every 10 years after the decennial, and this is not a decennial year. He's just doing it on a random year just because Trump told him to. So what he's doing is by far
spiteful.
It's just wild that these people just don't recognize that they're blaming people for the exact same thing they're doing. It's just crazy. No self-awareness.
I mean, listen, like I said, if we ever need to see what's wronger with politics, more wrong in politics, I mean, we're seeing it every day. It's like, oh, don't worry about what's good for the rest of, the country as a whole. Just worry about getting that one cheap shot across the aisle. You know what I mean? Political theater, the bullshit, and it's just, I don't know. I'm not a fan of it.
I mean, it seems to be hyped up a little bit under Trump. Trump seems to be like one of the most corrupt presidents of all time. We were talking last week about how the guy from Apple just came in and gave him a gold bar, literally a gold bar, and then got tariff reductions worth over billions of dollars. And now we just found out that Trump also has stock in Apple and NVIDIA, which are the ones that he just helped to secure deals with China for AI chips and 100% tariffs on semiconductors. Exemptions, so it's
they also have commitment to build here in the USA as well. So I know that's tied into some of the agreements, in there. But listen, if it's all about trying to get companies to come back and build here, I mean, if you got to make concessions, but listen, I mean, he's got 3.5 years. I mean, some people think he might have, they need going for another term.
Sorry about that. We got a little frozen there. No, but Trump had a cabinet full of campaign merch that he was showing the prince or the king of Azerbaijan, and if any other president had done that, it'd be a huge scandal. But not only that, he reaches into the back of the cabinet with the merch, and he pulls out a Trump 2028 hat, and he shows the king of Azerbaijan, and he's like, I'm not really supposed to be showing people this. It makes them mad or whatever, and they both giggle. So, man, like I said, the most corrupt president in the history of our country, in my opinion. We got triple OG.
And yet the most content and might be resetting the bar better than anybody.
Our economy. Might be destroying our economy, bro. But luckily,
I don't know.
The people on the left have a new warrior. Have you been seeing what's going on with Gavin Newsom on Twitter and X?
I have. I said it. I was like, shit, that's probably the best option. What, we talked about a year ago? Maybe 2?
What do you mean? Oh, that he would be the best option for the Democrats?
I think he's the best option. I think he's the most...
He seems like part of the establishment. Plus, he doesn't have a good record to run on with California legalizing petty theft and things like that. It's gonna be hard.
But I think that's more pressure from the party, right? And again, when I see a dude like Hannity, where he's like, yeah, he has dinner with Newsom and shit, like... These guys, like when you see Newsom just talking, I like when I just see him start, firing up and just start fucking ranting. Do I believe, do I trust everything he says? No, of course not. But who does it remind me of? Reminds me a lot of Trump. You know what I'm saying? Because he just believes it, dude. Like it's just a passionate thing. When he starts, petty crime and start doing weird shit with the homeless in California. Listen, California was fucked. You know what I mean? It wasn't his fault. California had a hard time. I lived there for quite a few years. I do think though, I said it back then, I'll say it now. He probably is the most charismatic, best option for the party. So I hope he does. I think he's better than Buttigieg.
Yeah, Pete Buttigieg.
You know.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Buttigieg either. But what I was kind of referring to is his new tweeting style. So if you haven't noticed recently, he's been tweeting out just like Donald Trump. And he keeps calling Donald Trump like tiny hands. And the other day, Donald Trump accidentally put out a truth or a tweet where he was in the middle of writing a word, I guess. It just came out BELA, so it's the new Kothefi, which he did that once during his first term. And he used that as calling him a beta. And he's just kind of like acting like Trump. And the funniest thing about it is all the people, even like commentators on Fox News, are like, oh, why is he so childish? He's being so childish. And they're like big Trump supporters. And they're like, do you not notice that he's doing the exact same thing Donald Trump's doing? So do you not realize that Donald Trump is also being childish? That's the whole point here. And they do not recognize it. And it kind of just shows a lack of intelligence or awareness, really.
Well, I don't know if Newsom's as good at it yet. But again, I've never truly disliked him. And here's what you say. He's like, oh, party establishment. If he was really so part of the establishment, when he got caught, remember during COVID, having like a dinner party and shit?
Yeah.
If he really was part of the, don't you think he wouldn't have done that? To me, that was like a rebellious move. You know what I mean? A little bit. Well, if he was like, well, I'm just gonna stay indoors. I'm gonna do exactly what what my boss is telling me. You know what I mean? He was like, nah, fuck that. I'm just doing it because I have to. He's like, but just like most of us, he didn't really believe that it was that crazy of an issue. Were people getting sick and dying? Of course, we saw it with our own eyes. Was it pushed to a certain extent that, people try to make us believe on the media and shit? Hell no. Absolutely not. But he knew that. That's why he was having his dinner party. That's why, people are like, oh, he was killing people. No, directly, no, he was not. As we learned with COVID, later on, no, he was not. He was just doing because he's a fucking normal dude. And he was like, I'm going to get out there and have a dinner party like most other people wanted to do. Now, is it a slap in the face to the other people that were in California that were staying indoors? Yeah, sure.
Well, I mean, I understand why they're being overcautious at the time, too. They didn't know what the disease was, a brand new disease, and people were dying. So I understand the reason for being cautious. But, he was a young dude. It was probably a bunch of young people getting together, somewhat young, getting together who weren't as worried about being injured by COVID or the after effects or the side effects of COVID. So,
yeah, and I mean, listen, now with him, I mean, who's the other opposition? I saw somebody else was being.
I like AOC right now. If I had to pick.
Yeah. I just think that would be a tough pill to swallow.
It's like women can't win. I mean, Hillary was a horrible candidate, and Kamala didn't really have a whole entire campaign. So, but I don't know if AOC could win because not only is she a woman, she's kind of a woman of color. Is she like Hispanic? Maybe, yeah, Ocasio-Cortez. Whatever.
I'm pretty sure she's Hispanic, right? With that last name, but
so
I mean,
that would
I'm
be
not.
hard to win an entire election these days. People are so racist these days. I mean, you're not going to win in the South. But Gavin Newsom.
A lot of the rest of the world is racist. That's the problem.
I don't think the racist
we're out there.
people would like Gavin Newsom. He's like the kind of white dude they don't like.
No, but he's also a man, a male who would step into that room and who would command, respect.
True.
The same way that Trump does. You know what I mean? So
people are so childish. That's what they need.
I mean, listen. Sometimes, if you're out somewhere, you don't really hear like the good kids. You hear the freaking bastard children who are out there fucking, crying, yelling, and screaming.
Yep.
I'm not saying it's always a good thing, but those are the ones that are heard. So, and again, maybe sometimes in some aspect, the way Trump goes on his crazy shit is it good or is it bad? Rather, sure. But for the most part, I think, if that's what Newsom's going to try to replicate. I heard this too, because I'm a huge, Asmongold, Hassan. I like tuning into those guys, right?
Yep.
And Hassan just did like a puff piece, like the New York Times or some shit, and they were talking, and he said something else about it on stream, where he was like, "Oh, the left, really just trying to find like, their guy, right? Like their Rogan type dude,
Yep.
And a lot of people keep saying this, but it makes me wonder, I wonder if they have the same people that are in those circles with like Hassan and Gavin Newsom and all these lefties, right? Because if they do, and they're trying to find that way to strike a chord with the young male voter, well, how do you do it? You do it like Trump, and you do it like Newsom might be trying to do, right? You come in and you just play that little fucking game, and you make noise, and again, sometimes crybaby type shit, perhaps. But if people tune in and they fucking buy into it, it might work.
You gotta get that attention, and he's getting attention with it, so it does work. Yeah, if it gets your message out, once you get the attention, then people listen to what you're saying. And I think the whole tiny hands thing goes with the whole South Park thing. They're really going after that poor man's penis. I'm sorry, bro, but they are.
And like I said, I don't think Newsom is that bad of a dude. I've said it for a long time. And I mean, my Republican friends are like, what are you, crazy? But I really don't. Because a lot of times when I see him talk, he strikes me as the type of dude that's like, well, if I say this and my entire party is going to be calling me all night and I really don't want to fucking deal with this, I just want to go home and watch TV. He strikes me as a dude who just wants to go home, crack open a beer and watch football. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to be bothered with the fucking, like, the bureaucratic bullshit after hours. And I think that's why he just, a lot of times, just says what he says. And again, much like Trump, just to kind of move along and get your life going. But I don't know. I think that's probably going to be who they throw out there as a candidate. And it's probably the best move, in my opinion.
It'll depend on his policies. Everything we've been talking about is vibes-based, and it does seem like vibes-based is what wins national elections these days. But for me, he's got to have good policies.
Well, but here's the thing, though. It's like if the policies that these people came in with really were getting implemented over the course of our lifetimes and we've seen it happen, maybe. That's never the way it works. They come in, they run on a fucking campaign promise. Yeah, then you still got to deal with the House of Representatives. You still Congress, right? You still got to deal with the infighting. You still got to deal with the, I really want to do this, so let me give a concession here in the bill, right? We're still going to have to deal with that no matter what. Unless we move to AI, which...
AI president, I could see it happening eventually.
AI president, AI fucking House, AI Congress. No, but think about it. Remember just like a month ago, what if we had a morality-based like voting method? Like you don't even go to vote. You don't have to write anything down. You just wake up in the morning on voting day, and whatever your morals really think, that's what you vote. You wouldn't be able to fool it.
Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is. Nothing you can do about it.
So imagine that. If you did that, then you wouldn't really have to worry about it.
No
or what I
more
say
voter
is, you know what?
fraud.
Here's another way to fucking deter voter fraud. Instead of using morals, something that people value way more than morals. What is it?
Their time.
Money.
Money, yeah.
Time is definitely the most valuable commodity, right? Yeah. So that's why that movie In Time with Timberlake is a fantastic movie. If anybody's never seen it,
You say Timberlake?
Justin Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake? You watched the Justin Timberlake movie? No, I haven't seen that one.
Bro, it is awesome, dude. In Time, it's where basically you're born with like a clock on your arm, and if it ticks down to 0, you die.
Ooh.
So when you go to work, you don't get paid in money, you get paid in time.
Oh, that's cool.
And if you want to go to McDonald's and you want to get like a crazy fatty fucking meal, well, you don't just pay more money for it, you pay with more time. Bro, it is actually a brilliant, I don't know who wrote it, but it is a super, it's a brilliant movie. Yeah, I would definitely watch it. But, one thing that people value as a person more than time is money. So what if you wanted to vote? You could only vote if you bet on it. Think about that. Think about how much differently you would vote if you were like, well, shit. I don't know. If it's $1,000 minimum to vote for the president, you know what I'm saying? You probably vote a little bit differently, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
Maybe not everybody.
Then none of the poor people could vote. I like Grandma Moore's idea. No parties. I've been saying that forever. I don't understand why we have parties.
Sure, that's why when I was younger, I used to walk in and just vote for the fucking marijuana reform party.
When you were younger?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's smart. Yeah,
40-something.
I guess, yeah. I was going to say, like, how young were you? But then again, I guess you were old enough to vote, huh? All right,
yeah, well, I'm saying, when I first turned 18, because you figure I turned 8, the first year I could vote, you figure I was, 20? 19?
Why can't you vote
Yeah,
when you're
19.
18? Oh, because there were no elections.
Yeah, there was no presidential election that year. The first presidential election I was able to vote for, I was 19.
Gotcha.
So, you know, going back from that point, we were getting out of so we were pretty much slipping out of like the Clinton era, moving into the Bush era. And I loved Clinton. I didn't really like the Bushes too much. I didn't like all that, Middle East bullshit. I just used to walk in and do, marijuana reform, marijuana reform. It didn't ever worked, but,
It's nice that Trump's talking about it now, though. He's saying that he's going to reschedule it down to Schedule 3 drug. Right now it's a Schedule 1, same as heroin.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't
that
make
would
sense.
Yeah, that makes sense, in my opinion. All right, any other politics
dies
topics you want to talk
from
about
weed.
before we move to Web3?
Not really. I know that I was checking in on some of the DC stuff. It seems like
Oh, yeah.
people themselves are happy with, the upgrade in protection. It seems like crime stats are down. And I'm not just talking about unreported crime. It looks like crime across the board. Like, they are scared shitless over there right now. And that just came out earlier today. I didn't really fact check it too much, but it seems like whatever they're doing is working. That being said, it's also a little scary because I don't want it to work too well, but they're like, oh, let's go do it in New York. Let's go do it in Indiana. Let's go do it. I don't want to see that shit. But
I know there's a lot of people in D.C. protesting it. Lots of protesters out there. I know they were started off with like 30-something arrests per day, and now they're up to like 53 arrests per day. But during the Biden administration, arrests per day on Washington, D.C. were over 50 already. So is it really worth the money we're
reported.
spending?
Reported.
Why would they not
Yeah, I
report
remember back then,
arrest?
nobody
If
was
I'm talking
reporting
arrest,
shit.
Arrest is a report because you're arrested. There is a arrest report. Why would they arrest somebody and not report it?
I'd see some data on that, but everything I'm seeing here, I can send it to you if you want to bring it up. But
What do you mean?
What do I mean?
Like what? What data are you trying to show?
It was just showing like the amount of crime that was actually taking place in DC. It was just showing some residents that they seemed to be more than ecstatic that it was finally taking place, as opposed to what some people might want to make us believe. It's like, oh, they hate it. They feel like they're being trapped in like a military.
You see the thousands and thousands of protesters. Those are also DC residents. They're obviously not happy about it.
And a lot of them are paid to.
Paid
we know
protesters? Come on, man.
Oh, hell yeah.
You're crazy.
Oh, we know that. No, I'm not crazy. We know that takes place. We have, who was it, Denny? We had somebody in our chat that their parents made a living off that shit. Come on.
Canada.
Can't pretend like that shit don't exist. It happens here too, bro.
They're not paying people to go out and protest DC. I mean, the people are mad that they got the military in their city. Ugh, it's so goofy to be
People are always getting paid to protest. They're getting out there. I'm not saying all of them.
And you're talking about like interviews of 3 or 4 individual people that somebody found out on the street compared to thousands of people on the street protesting with signs saying, get out of our country or get out of our city.
I'm just saying. Those are just, some of the few that they found. But, we don't want to talk about, I actually had a clip I wanted to send you, but I don't think you play it on YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't think you should play it on YouTube,
You already
actually.
played the dildo one. I mean, how bad can it be? Jeez.
No, because that's funny.
Oh.
That's funny. No, the old Andrew Dice Clay joke with the immigrants getting out of the country.
I probably heard it. I watched a lot of Andrew Dice Clay. I like him. He's hilarious.
I love Dice, but I'll leave all the probably somewhat racist stuff out of it. But just at the end where he's like, if you can't speak the language, get the fuck out the country. It's just so good the way, and this is the 80s, you know what I'm saying? Just the way he said it though, bro.
There's Danny OC's talking about his aunt was a Greenpeacer and a full-time protester, never had a real job her whole life. She probably worked for like Greenpeace, but I mean, that doesn't mean that every protester works for Greenpeace or gets paid to protest. I don't know. It's crazy.
I'm not saying every single one of them. Trust me, I know people. I grew up with people that were activists.
If there's thousands and thousands of protesters, why would you only pay like 15? Like, I don't understand. Like, what is your theory here of who's getting paid? Like, what percentage of protesters are getting paid in your mind?
Percentage? Directly, half. Half. Directly, though. But I'm saying it's like, if you're paying me directly, and I'm like, well, shit, now I'm making actual money. let me go try to recruit some other people, and maybe I could just recruit them well enough because I'm an excellent speaker, or whatever the case might be, and I can,
Well, then
get
why doesn't
people
a
on
Trump
board.
supporter sign up to be paid to be a protester and expose it all?
I mean, some of them have, and so
Where?
probably some of the reports
Where?
I've seen.
Yeah, right. Some made up stuff, some AI maybe, or some acting.
Maybe. I mean, shit, AI nowadays, bro. I'm petrified of what the fuck we're gonna see next.
Oh my
I
goodness.
I sent Steph a video. I obviously knew it was AI when we saw it, but it was what's her face? The mayor's fucking name, black mayor chick. Oh,
I
God.
can picture her, but I don't remember her name.
Why am I drawing a fucking blank?
Barry?
Chat will probably know who the fuck it is.
Is it
but-
Barry? Mayor Barry?
Yeah, is that it?
I think
Basically, it was an AI video of just her calling people. She's like, "Yes, I'm here to tell you I'm retarded," and it was, it was like a whole news broadcast, whatever. But it's like clearly AI. You know what I'm saying? But some of these things are going to come out, and people aren't going to fucking know the difference until we come up with some sort of technology or like a warning. Almost like an invisible watermark. It's like if you're AI, you have to have this subliminal like audio thing in the file. If you don't, it's like against the law or something.
I like that idea. Hopefully they do come up with something like that. They definitely need to. Daniel C says they rally people to go with them. Oh, they rally people to go with them, and they use donated funds to aid the protesters. What kind of aid do protesters need? You gotta take them to McDonald's. They need some new shoes.
And food, buses, stuff like. And that's why you saw even at like what was it, Kamala gatherings and stuff. It was like, and it happens with it did, where you just see like the buses of people coming in. And then you look at like
because they were coming in from parking lots that were really far away because the actual parking lots were already full. That's such
no, but their
right-wing
cell phone
propaganda
data. If you
bullcrap.
digging into it, their cell phone data. If you track that going in further,
Oh,
was showing that they came from other states altogether. But which would show more of a concerted
Every
effort.
Trump rally is full of
Yeah.
people from other states. It's just a bunch of retirees that follow him around. They interview him and say,
I'm
"This
just
is my
saying.
35th rally."
Trust me, I know it. But the same way that people followed fucking Black Sabbath and fucking other bands around and New Kids on the Block. I get it. I know a lot of people do it, but it just sometimes it seems a little more obvious than other times. But
All right, let's go ahead and move on to Web3 gaming. We weren't sure what kind of Web3 gaming to talk about today, but Mo did come across this new platform that Photo Finish Live is working with, and it's called BetVibWin, and the website is betvib.win. And I've got some bullet points here about it. I'm not going to read them all for you. I'll just let Mo tell you what betvib.win is all about.
so BetVibWin is huge. Okay, we know people like gambling on weird, wild shit. We've seen it right with the poly markets and stuff like that. Well, now it's on the blockchain, and this was a big announcement that Ian and them made 2 weeks ago, some shit like that.
Oh, nice.
And I at the time I was like, man, I really wish they would have just partnered up with like an actual website that was doing this liquidity and all this betting type stuff. But then the more I looked into it, come to find out that this shit never really existed. So it actually had to be, this technology had to be created to kind of like mimic what happens in the real world, but mimic it on the blockchain, right? And who better to do it, in my opinion, than Ian, who's doing it with the horse racing, and again has been kind of showing it. The amount of money that the game still generates on a fucking day-to-day is crazy. So they came up with this. There's betting pools for the horse racing. There's betting pools for sports that's going to be coming up. There's going to be prediction pools with like poly market. But the cool thing is that it's one simple API connection. So let's say it blows up and Counter-Strike, the esports, wants to use it. They don't have to like write anything, they don't do anything. They just tap into the API, boom, now they have a pool. Name it, share the link, and now people can just dive into the fucking betting pool, and you'll have maybe whatever. Some of these betting pools on stake, if like Trainwrecks and these other guys are gambling, they'll have like a couple $100,000 in the pool.
Dang.
So what's cool about BetVibe is that when they start doing all the stuff on the back end, because you'll be putting money in, and then you'll place the bet. But when you place the bet, it's using an on-chain transaction to convert from whatever it might be on, Crown, Fiat, or USDC, whatever. It's going to convert to Crown, and then it's going to do the bet. And then if you cash out on the other side, it's going to do the transaction again. So first of all, it's going to put all this transaction volume out on these tracking websites that do like the day-to-day, like, here's your top earners for the week and for the day on Web3 and crypto. Well, right now, PFL doesn't show up on that. But the second that they do, it's pretty much game over for like every other Web3 game out there. And that's why that's why I didn't really want to do a Web3 game, because, man, Web3 sucks. Launch a project, sell a fucking minted NFT, put out a coin, promise people a game, never put out the game. That's it. And then you come back a few months later and you're like, oh, sorry, guys, we got to close up shop. Another game, Pirate Nation, just closed up yesterday or the day before. There's like another list of like 10 from the past 30 days.
Jeez.
They just don't make it.
I've been
They
seeing
just
those
don't
lists
make it.
of Web3 games that have closed shop. There's a lot.
You haven't seen it, or you have seen it?
I have seen, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, trust me. I'm not going to blow smoke and make shit up. Like Web3 gaming to me is this weird pipe dream that the only way to make it worth it is if you can, like, oh, I'm going to jump on there and buy a gun that's going to shoot people faster. Okay, cool. You might make money on that. But then from a gamer's perspective, the gamers that come in, which the same way that the 1% needs the 99% to fucking, sustain, but yet the 1% is more powerful. Well, the people that are trying to make money in Web3 gaming need the average gamer to come in and play, right? To sustain the economy and to have people in the game to shoot and make money off of when you kill them. But how does that really work if the gamers coming in are like, well, that's just pay to win? You understand?
Yeah.
Because most of the time when games fail nowadays, the number one complaint from Asmongold and other people in the space is that, well, I don't want to come in and play because if I don't spend $1,000, I have no chance. Well, if that's the case, then Web3 gaming is dead on arrival, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's like we always said, you gotta build up a game that you can play for free, and then the NFTs have to be just, what do they call them? Where it's just like you're getting skins and it's things that look good, but they don't give you no advantage in the game.
Cosmetic, yeah.
Yes,
So
exactly.
yeah, so cosmetic. So playing for cosmetic advantages or cosmetic items is cool. And if those, so I think Big Time is the one Web3 game that only does cosmetics, I believe, for the NFT portion.
That one's been around a while too.
Yeah, so that could be a good use case, right? Like, okay, well, let's keep it away from anything that makes it pay to win. But then I also look at the volume on Big Time and how much things really go for. They don't really sell for that much money, so it's kind of like, well, do I want it to be that tedious and barely make any money? Probably not. So the flip side of the coin and the cooler side of the pillow is Off the Grid. Off the Grid is a great shooter. You can load into, have a bunch of fun. You'll never even know it's an NFT game. Unless you want to. You can go in, extract a cube, get like a crazy legendary event item now. But until you go through the process of exporting the item and putting it out on the OpenSea marketplace, right? Like, it doesn't have any value until then. That's perfect. I think that's the way it needs to be, because the gamers come in, the gamers want to play, and then the few people on the top that put in the extra time make the money. That was a long-winded fucking rant, but does it make sense? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. Yep.
But this is why these other games are failing, because they're coming in and they're just stringing you along with these fucking carrots on a stick, where again, it's like, okay, come and mint. All right, how much time can we buy before the people start complaining? 30 days, 60 days? All right, now we put out a coin. Okay, 30 days, 60 days. Now people ask, you know what I'm saying? Like,
while they spend the money that you spent to mint.
Exactly.
DNLC says
Exactly.
crypto is closing all current drops, preparing for a relaunch. I actually have a graphic here
It
about
just popped up on my
Cryptoids.
screen.
I'm sorry?
Yeah. It just popped up on my screen.
What's that?
The cryptoids.com announcement. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got maybe it's something that I don't have, but we'll get to Cryptoids here in a second. We'll check it out. Stan the Man's in the house. What's up, Stan? Says Star Atlas continues to stay alive, and I'm not sure how. It's such a good game, but I don't think very many people are playing it.
It's not a good game, though. It's a cool idea.
Yeah.
It's a cool concept. It's a space game. People love space. I love space. You know. But then go look at gameplay. You can bring it up if you want. Bring up gameplay of their fucking shooter game. That's supposed to be like a huge element of the game. Fuck that, bro. That game looks pathetic. Now, again, the flying around, the spaceship, that's pretty cool. But if only one part of it's cool and I have to suffer the rest of it, nah, I'm good.
All right, let's move on to crypto and talk Cryptoids first, because I was going to talk about this tweet that they made yesterday, or maybe it was the day before, and they just put out a picture saying something big is coming. And apparently, according to the chat, they just announced something in the Discord. I'm pretty sure I'm in the Cryptoids Discord. Let's pull it up here and see if we can find out what that announcement. That's not what I need. How about this one? And then we'll move that out the way. All right, here's the big announcement. Seeing it for the first time. Breaking news. Kind of, sort of. All right, let's just read it from X so everybody can see it. So it was from Discord. They linked to a tweet. The tweet says, big update. We're temporarily closing all current drops on Cryptoids.com as we prepare for an exciting relaunch. Stay tuned for more info. Mo, you're a Cryptoids ambassador. What's going on, man? You got the inside scoop for us?
You know, I wish I did. I wanted to double check. And it looks like the last message that I have in the Cryptoids Ambassador, June 3rd, 2025. So either I was removed, which I don't think I was because I wouldn't see it. Yeah, so I don't really know how the hell we're supposed to know. But yeah, I am an ambassador. I do love Cryptoids. I think.
Wonder why they're relaunching. Like, why would they relaunch?
Well, because they launched at a time where everything was going to the moon, and they saw the success of Vivi, and you know, I talked to Will a bunch. You talked to Will too, right? Yep. Early on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I thought, you know, even later on, I talked to Will a bunch, and I always told him the same thing, bro. Like, show me some gaming. Like, let me dive in. Let me create a little mini game, you know, something that I can that people want to log in and play for a high score. I don't know, but why would you relaunch? Because what you were doing wasn't working. You know?
I wonder if they're gonna change the look of their collectibles or change their gaming up. Then he says, let's be fair, I don't know if they know what to actually do right now. They have some cool ideas. Yeah, it's not a great genre to be in right now because NFTs have such a bad reputation in the mainstream. So this is interesting. We're going to keep our eyes on that and see what their relaunch is all about. And then some people were asking about BB. I saw this.
Well, let me ask you real quick.
Go ahead.
With Cryptoids, I mean, you were in it in the beginning.
Yep.
You were left. So for you to even think about coming back to something like Cryptoids and getting involved, what does it even have to be?
I've still got my Cryptoids NFTs, so I'm already involved. I'm in there. I don't have many of them, but for me to actually like pay attention and go for the drops, it's all about if you have that user base where the drops are profitable. And then, of course, if they have good gaming, I've always said, even if they have not so great gaming, if you at least have like a ladder system or you have multiplayer, something to make it where it's competitive, and then also give prizes, NFT or crypto prizes for playing the game, that would make me interested and more involved.
Yeah, I mean, shit. And again, it all comes back to gaming. I don't know. I don't know what the hell they're gonna do. I mean, I don't think they're gonna revamp their NFTs and change all that shit around. I don't think they need to.
I don't think so either, but I don't understand why they would rebrand, because they're not. It's gonna look the same, right? The NFTs are gonna look the same, so I don't know. It's kind of wild.
Well, because when you rebrand, it allows you to. You know how to say you can only have one first impression, right?
Yeah.
if you read it, kind of gives you that second chance to kind of catch fire. And again, they launched when NFT wasn't really like a forbidden fucking word.
Right.
So now it's like maybe they really try to lean into like digital collectibles more.
Smart.
And
Yeah.
you know,
I remember
they
BB
were doing phygital.
when
They
BB
did have physical items that they sent out. So who knows? Maybe they lean into phygital. I don't think anybody gives a shit about that, but
people who go to the cons, they give a crap. But BB
I
also did a
guess.
rebrand. It really wasn't a big deal. So maybe it's the same thing as that. They're just gonna change up their logo a little bit. What's up, Ronnie Lido? Good to see you, my man. We're talking BB stuff right now. Daniel C says BB announced no more gems to fiat as of mid-November. You have to use the stacker going forward to cash out via Omi, I think. Bro, it just keeps getting worse and worse. Okay, so
That's
this
insane.
we're gonna find out. I've got the article pulled up, but this announcement is actually pretty cool. Apparently, BB is exploring digital trading cards. So it doesn't say digital trading card games. So I don't know if they're talking sports cards. I don't know if they're talking like Pokemon cards, or maybe they're talking their own cards. Probably not playable. But what do you think about that? Do you think digital trading cards is a good idea? Because I've always wanted like baseball cards, like old Topps cards, to be on BB, old rookie Roberto Clemente cards. And I know a lot of people would like to buy Pokemon cards, even though you wouldn't be able to play them. Just maybe, I don't even know which Pokemon cards are good, but maybe there's a gold Pikachu that everybody likes, and they're gonna have 10 editions of it on BB. What do you think about it?
Well, I don't know much about Pokemon either, but I'm pretty sure that you don't want a Pikachu, you want a Charizard.
Oh,
I think maybe somebody in chat knows better. Yeah, listen, digital trading cards, cool idea. Yeah, give me my, give me my Jose Canseco, Mark McGuire, Barry Bonds, Topps rookie card, sure. But if they're removing the option to cash out the fiat, that's a red flag if I've ever seen one.
that's like the biggest red flag. People are all gonna cash out right now, so they don't have to worry about that in the future. If that's true, we're gonna get to that in a second, and hopefully we can find out 100% if it's true or not. Shout out to Thanu's in the chat. What's up, my man? Good to see you in the chat. Jenny says it can use Omi to buy physical stuff at events. Exactly true. And that is Stream Elements. I don't know why I clicked on that. So the other thing was about the trading card game. Somebody pointed out that David Yu follows a company called Gundam Card Game, and it's one of only 23 companies that he follows on Twitter. Pokemon is one out of 23 companies. Pokemon is one of the others, but I think the other 20 that he follows are brands that they actually have on BB. So this Gundam Card Game might actually be the game that they're thinking about bringing digital collectibles from. So I'm gonna look it up. I didn't look it up before this. Maybe it's not Wizards of the Coast. I'll be hoping for Magic the Gathering. Let me pull up this and see if we can figure out exactly what the Gundam card games are.
I think they made a statement, Wizards of the Coast. I think they made a statement on Web3 and blockchain. I don't think they're coming anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't blame them at this point. It's too late now. You missed out. So I think Gundam is what they use for big machines that fight each other. I don't know if it's an anime or here we go. It'd be really cool if they released cards that we could use to play games against each other with, which is what these cards are. I don't even know if that's possible. It'd be super cool if you had like a collectible card. You could play against an opponent. You play the card and then a 3D creature pops out. I mean, there's all kinds of cool stuff you could do with this, but I don't know what they have planned for it. And I think it's interesting to see that little alpha that came out of nowhere about who David Yu is following. And it might tell us something about who that card game or which company that card game is going to be associated with. And then what you were talking about is the whole Omi thing. So this is a really long article. It just came out today. I didn't even know about it till we were about to go live. Rob T told me about it. Let's read this important part. What is changing with gems on BB? From 12 a.m. on November 19th of this year, collectors will be able to convert their Omi tokens for gems. Okay. Gems will become an in-app licensed product sold by BB that is non-transferable and non-withdrawable, similar to the in-app currencies of digital platforms like Roblox, Twitch, or Discord. The legal arrangements that underpin the current gem structure will end and new VB terms of use and terms of payment, now called terms for gems, will take effect. Any gems in your VB account will automatically be converted into non-transferable and non-withdrawable gems on a one gem for one gem basis. I mean, the market's got to be crashing right now.
Bro, this is so bad. This just screams like, oh, our lawyers couldn't get the fucking shit figured out for international use.
No cash out limit as of now. 10 flat fee for 100 or less. Oh, okay. I got like 80 gems, but I've got that number 9 collectible. Does anybody want to buy that from me? I'm taking offers. I've had it up for 500 forever. Nobody's bought it. I'll sell it for 300 right now. Oh, this is not good at all. So yeah, apparently, let's read a little bit more. Why are these changes being made? Because your business.
This is what I want to know. I didn't read this article yet, so.
Ensuring our collectors have choices when they use VB is important to us, and bringing further utility to the OMI token has always been part of VB's vision. The ability to purchase gems with OMI extends choice and provides flexibility for VB and stacker collectors. Protecting our users is also paramount, so these changes ensure VB's platform remains scalable and secure for all, and paves the way for VB to add other new features or incentives into gems going forward. It sounds like it's like the whole exact opposite of what they just said. It's less flexibility. It's less people that are going to be able to take part in it, because there's a lot of people that are in VB that don't mess with crypto.
Bro, this is nuts.
This is nuts. Let's see what Kryptoni thinks about it. Kryptoni says, buy gems to get drops, but can only sell in OMI is crazy, and no VB cash out, and no transfers, and no interoperability. We warned you. The fudders warned you. Oh my goodness. What the heck is going on? What's up, Not Sure? This is bad. Yes, not good.
Like, how?
What's up?
How do you drop the ball on that, bro? Like,
everybody shows up.
it reminds me of the Chaz Palmieri scene from Bronx Tale. You know, when the biker gang comes in and he locks the door and he's like, now you can't leave.
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah, that's pretty much what this is. Like Kryptoni said, come in, buy gems to get drops, but after that, well, now there are gems, and if you want to, withdraw, you have to go through all these extra steps now on Stacker, and you got to go do crypto, and if that is true that way, then that is.
It's true, and it even says that you're still able to purchase gems with your credit card through the VB platform. You just can't withdraw them unless you turn them into OMI and then take them to Stacker and then withdraw them that way. Man, Dr. Profit, it's hilarious because Dr. Profit is the one that created Stacker. And now he's going to be one taking all the fees. This has got to be some type of deal they made. But how long ago did they make it? Smart Bass says, I think this actually might be good. No USD gems, no KYC required. No KYC, multiple accounts. Multiple accounts equals infinity glitch.
Wait, so they're doing away with KYC?
I didn't see anything about that.
Here we go. Wait, no. So do I need KYC to make a withdrawal? Yes, our current requirement fuse a completer. Yeah, so you can't even do...
But now you have to KYC with Stacker? I ain't giving that dude my information. He's shady as heck. Okay, so in the VB market, to allow VB to integrate gems as a licensed digital product from 19th of November this year, VB will act as the intermediary for all transactions on VB's secondary market. That means buying and selling will be smoother and more secure. There won't be any change to how you use the VB market. Yeah, you're still going to get charged the fees, though, as this update will happen behind the scenes, and you will still have full control of your listings. When you list an item for sale, you agree to sell it to VB. When someone buys it, VB buys it from you and immediately sells it to the buyer in exchange for gems. VB then, I mean, this is the beginning of the end. Am I the only one thinking this is the beginning and this is over with? Sorry for the OMI holders. No, really, that sucks. I mean, is this going to make OMI pump?
Hell no. I can't see it happening, because the biggest draw, right, in the allure of VB was like, oh, cool, come in, get an account, KYC, get the crazy secret rare, fucking invisible Miles Morales, and then sell it, and boom, withdraw your money. Now it turns into what PFL is, and it's PFL's biggest hurdle, and I think it's why they struggle still with some people to try to come in and play, because even in PFL, like, if you want to, put money in, sure, just throw your credit card, throw your bank, whatever. You want to come out, it's got to go through Solana, it's got to go through all that crap. So, but here's the thing. PFL has actively been working, because I know it's the legal side of it, they've actively been working to get rid of that barrier. It just looks like BV was kicking the can illegally for so long, and they're like, well, now the only thing we do is just stop doing it. So I trust, you know what I'm saying? I trust PFL, where they don't do it now, but they're working actively to do it. Whereas VV just had it, now it's gone with probably no hope of ever coming back.
What rules are VV worried about? There are no rules in crypto anymore. Not during the Trump administration. Like, there's no regulations. What are they worried about? Ain't nobody suing them?
No, there's still regulations. I mean, especially if you're talking about different countries and where they're based. I mean, there absolutely could. I don't know.
I know they're actually based in Singapore to get around some New Zealand restrictions. DLC says, like, is the only army that strong still, or is it just a small group of people monopolizing VB? It seems like every time OMI goes up, you got that crypto bro on Twitter saying that the founders are selling. But of course, like I've said before, I can't really prove it myself because I'm not a blockchain expert. Roddy Lido says, I'm not hip to all the projects on the internet. Yeah, he was asking, is there any company that this works for? And they used some examples when they were talking about it. They were using like Twitter and Instagram or something. Oh, Roblox. Roblox is an example. And then when it comes to Photo Finish Live, I've withdrawn Crown before. It wasn't that hard, but I know a little bit about crypto. We want the people that don't know about crypto if we want, you know, a big amount of users. That's essential.
Right. Those are the people that you meet at work.
Yeah.
And they don't do crypto and like, oh, hey, download the app, link your debit card, hit a super secret rare, sell it, withdraw to your bank. And those are the people that if you don't have that as an option, and you start adding, 20 different steps between 3 and 4, they're not going to want to do it.
Yeah, this is for crypto people only, and the crypto people already know that these dudes ain't legit, so this is horrible. Kryptonic says if they turn on transfers, I take everything back. The bots are waiting patiently for the transfers to come back. I mean, if we can get bot Mageddon again, maybe we'll do another gem hack and all the prices pumped, and I guess I'm okay with it. I'm fishing for data right now, says Ronnie Lido. He's looking into it. All I know is when we...
I love when you bring up Kryptoni's chat, just so I can see his profile picture.
Of the...
with the funeral mask.
Yeah. My wallet was 45K. I say bring back transfer. That's what I'm saying. I need to stack up then. Those Becky Cloonans of mine can go back up to, I think they're at 2K at one point. Then he says, so as a tax point, will each VB transaction be a taxable event, or just when you convert gems to OMI? VB transactions will no longer be taxable events for sure. They used to be taxable events. Definitely not anymore. Not sure. It says it can pump if people do not get it and see just more utility is there than a pump because of more utility, but it is bad. But I see there was already an insider pump. So if people pumped it before the news even came out, I wouldn't be surprised. But even a pump on OMI is just up to like 00019. It's not doing much.
Yeah, I mean, how much of a pump we really talking?
Yeah.
It's OMI, but...
People are going to make money off it, though. We was never comfortable with Web 3, so they're just going full Web 2 now. But I feel like it's even more Web 3 now because you have to have crypto to get your money out. So it's more Web 3.
Before it was like Web 2.5.
Right.
But now it's like, no, I think you're right. Now it's like full-blown Web 3.
This is crazy. Yeah, this just came out. Breaking news. No more, no more withdrawing pretty much. Jeez Louise. I'm going to be selling my stuff if I can. But like I said, I'm taking offers on my number 9 mint number special edition collectible. All right, there's one more topic that I wanted to talk about when it comes to crypto this week, and it's about this coin called FRNT, and it's on Avalanche. And it's apparently the first state-issued stablecoin. Mo's the one that was telling me about it. It was formerly known as Weist. It's live on Avalanche, which I like that blockchain a lot. And to give you some information about it, it's fully backed by short-term U.S. treasuries and dollars and issued directly by the state of Wyoming. It's not a startup experiment, but a legally governed, fully audited public financial instrument with 102% reserves live on-chain. FRNT brings programmable finance to the public sector at scale. And I also wanted to show this where they're talking about while spending. The spending will go live shortly, and this is the link, and it's down in the description. To find out more about it, Mo, what do you think about FRNT?
I mean, I don't know too much about the company. I don't know about their history. But the one thing and the reason why I sent it to you was if it's going to be the first, coin of a government-issued stable coin, that's massive.
Yeah, it's
because again, this is
Wyoming.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what state it's from. But the second that you open the floodgate and people see that it's, happening and or working, then it's just everybody's got it, right? And we've seen it with medical marijuana. Then it turned into, recreational marijuana, right? Like, same concept here.
Right,
And
but
this could
okay, so on
very,
stable coins, I don't understand how people make money on stable coins because it doesn't always worth a dollar.
yeah, but the same way that our dollar is worth a dollar, I mean, there are taxable events, whether it be on, I'm sure we're paying some sort of tax, right? Like if you go buy something in with a New York coin and our tax is whatever, 8.75, like the US dollar, I mean, would that change? I don't think so.
But how do you make money by owning stablecoin? By getting in early on stablecoin?
Well, I don't even know if the point, yeah, I don't know if the point of stable coins is to make money, though.
What is the point of it?
Is to create a real world usage, like, because right now, the same way if you go to use Bitcoin, like at the supermarket, they don't accept it, you know.
Right.
But if you go into a Wyoming, supermarket, it might be required that they all accept the front token.
Right.
And if there's any sort of,
Yeah, even if it wasn't
government,
required, yeah. But I mean, that's kind of crazy then. That means people that are like off the grid that own Bitcoin could then convert some of their Bitcoin to front and just go to the store and go buy groceries and no record of them, which I'm sure that's what a lot of those off the grid people want. So I can see how a lot of people would be attracted to something like that.
well, right now there's no record of it. But the thing about the blockchain, right, is everything's full transparency, right? It's an online ledger. That's why when, it's like the old country stores, right? Like back in the 1800s and shit, general stores, where people would go in and have like they write the ledger in the middle of the store. Everybody knew everybody's business. If you had 10 loaves of bread or whatever, your fucking neighbor knew it because they saw the ledger. Same concept here. It just takes off and this becomes a real thing, state to state. I don't think people have more privacy. I think they'd have less.
Yeah,
But
I think it would just log their wallet address, and then maybe the government had that information, but normal people wouldn't know what your wallet address was.
uh, maybe not. But what if they had some way to tap into the API at fucking Target and grab a batch of the last 10 fucking accounts used?
True.
And then you're like, oh, I saw a vault at fucking Walmart. Let me grab a batch of the last, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I'm sure it's possible. But I think it's a good thing, personally. I think it brings legitimacy to the space. I think, again, yeah, if you want to be like, oh, we're in the trenches trying to make money, I don't think that's what this is at all. But when it comes to legitimacy and, allowing other companies to trust it more, sure. And then that'll bleed into Solana. That'll bleed into, probably not shit coins, but it'll, Avalanche as well. I still think AVAX is the play. I believe it. I think when you look at like all the DMVs across the country that are doing their blockchain technology, I'm pretty sure it's all AVAX based. So if that's the case, I think insurance companies are AVAX as well.
And there's
I
some
don't
good
know,
gaming on AVAX too. Yeah, I like AVAX a lot.
And good gaming.
And it's
Yeah.
an American company, so it has tax breaks. Ronnie Lido says, I mean, no company technically needs global users. You just need a few million to keep anything going nowadays. That's definitely true. Ronnie Lido says, anything can stay a very niche thing and still be popular nowadays. Not if you're losing money, though. You got to be making money. Denny OC says, here in Canada, you can poo-poo a guy and be out tomorrow. Don't pay your taxes, you go straight to jail. Do not pass go. How you getting out for poo-pooing a guy? Is it like a stand your ground line? A stand your ground law? Ronaldo says, how do those pudgy penguins work? What do you mean how they work? They're just NFTs. They don't do nothing. They're your profile picture. What's up, Rob T says 2025 Topps Chrome Star Wars drops tomorrow. If I got some George Lucas autographs in there, might be worth going
Crazy.
for. Ronnie Lido says, none of this ever affects my life, just my wallet. I still got to wake up and paint. I still got to wake up and grow and sell. What you growing, bro? This is all cherries on top. Why don't you ship me some of that, what you're growing? Daniel C says, I made a great simple life before pot became legal and government controlled here. Now both me and my wife work multiple jobs just to keep afloat. Wait, how does weed... Okay, so life was great, then weed became legal. Now life is bad? Can you tell us how that happened? What's the correlation? I'm confused.
Didn't he grow medicinal? Or maybe he had a medicinal license and now it's...
Maybe he was selling on the corner and now they got stores, put him out of business. Him and his wife.
I mean, I don't know if you're going out telling people you supported your entire family with a legal weed trade. I don't think
Just
he's
saying.
that dumb.
I'm just saying. All right, well, we'll wait to find out if, well, I mean, you don't have to tell us, Denny OC. Find out more about Denny OC's situation. Let's move on to our next topic, which is what you watching. And I've been trying to get on that Altered Carbon. I've got it written down. I almost started watching it the other day, and then I had to go do something. I'm just busy. It's hard being a single dad. But when I do finally have time to sit down, I'm planning on watching Altered Carbon. I think it was Rob that told me about it. Mo, what have you been watching, my dude?
Well, told you I was watching that scavenger hunt in Austin.
Yeah.
Finally ended yesterday. Somebody won 30K. The ending was actually hilarious. At the end of the day, I think 7 people got maced. I think there was like 5 actual brawls and 2 people arrested.
What?
But it was awesome. Yeah, it was awesome.
So
Now I
was
know
it for
why.
like trespassing or something?
Yeah. So the main chick that was arrested, she made like national news in some outlets. But basically, she was using a paintball gun in public, and she missed a shot on a contestant and blasted like a jogger running by.
Oh crap!
But because she already had a fucking right hood and all this other shit, and she was very insubordinate when they locked her up, apparently she might be looking at 10 years, bro.
Dang! She better get a lawyer.
Yeah, she's gonna need one because it didn't sound good. But yeah, so I was watching that. That ended. Now I'm back to 90210. I'll finish that. I don't know what's next, man. I think Sopranos. I think I might go back to Sopranos.
I need to find that series to get into. I'm gonna check out Altered Carbon. It looks like there's a movie made after it, so if it's good, the series is good, I might watch the movie too. Ronnie says once it's legal, it will be everywhere and garbage. Talking about the weed, it's not legal here yet, so can't speak on it. Rob said I was gonna ask if you tried Altered Carbon. Season 1 is better than season 2. That's kind of like every freaking TV show. It seems like season 1's always the best, but I haven't started yet. But I'm about to start soon. Every gas station and local store gets turned into a CBD and vape shop. Hey, we talking about my vapes here. I believe it was meant to be a 1-season show, but it could be mixed up on shows. Might be wrong. Is that the Altered Carbon one? Get roasted and watch when you get time. Roasted? Who, me? I was in 2 episodes of The Sopranos in season 3. You wait, what? Rob T was in 2 of the episodes of The Sopranos in season 3 and season 4. I need clips or it didn't happen.
Oh shit!
Let's see this. That's wild. I had a roommate in college who was one of the kids at the beginning of the Babe movie with John Goodman where he's Babe Ruth, which was kind of cool. DOC says,
Yeah, I guess it was my uncle's wife's brother. I don't know how the fuck you want to correlate that to me, but anyway, I played hockey with this guy for a while, and his claim to fame, he wanted to be an actor. Apparently, he had like a small scene as like a waiter or something in like an early Sopranos season.
nice.
But he would just never shut the fuck up about it, bro. And even when I started playing on the hockey team, he would be like, "How long you know this guy? Like, just all he ever talks about?"
I'd probably be the same way.
I'm like, it's pretty cool though.
Then he says, I'm definitely not singing that, but in order to sell weed legally now, you had to come up with $250,000 just to start. So only big companies were able to start. That's how it is in Ohio. They have it locked down to like
How
2
it
or
is
3
in New
big
York.
companies. Oh, really? I know that. And how
Not
it's-
quite 250K. I looked into it when Crown was pumping. But yeah, by the time you get like office space, legalization, yeah, you're looking like 100K, some shit like that here in New York.
in New York, I'm surprised. It's 250,000 is a freaking lot, and it's probably cheaper to get all that stuff in Canada than in New York. I want to rewatch The Sopranos. I started watching The Wire again. Any local growers were within a year completely done. Yeah.
I never really got into The Wire.
So I guess Denny OC was doing that. Okay, so the little guys got kicked out. That's messed up. I was an extra in Under 5. Oh, so you were a kid? When I was in the Bada Bing all day with James Gandolfini and the Underground Casino with Steve Buscemi. I love me some Buscemi. I didn't even know that he was in that TV show. Are you saying you were under 5 years old?
Boardwalk Empire?
No, not Boardwalk Empire. This is Sopranos. We're talking about the 2 episodes that Rob T was in. Apparently, he was under 5 at the time. But why were you in a casino under the age of 5?
How do you talk about the Buscemi show that came out after Sopranos?
Oh, no,
I never seen it, but I always wanted to watch it.
grow your own and get local customers. That's the life. Maybe if you want to go to jail, you can't do that around here. But all right, Mo, anything else you want to touch on this week before we end the live stream?
Oh, no, I think that's pretty much it. Sometimes I try to bookmark shit. Yeah, just looking through right now. Bunch of people doing the FRNT lean. I don't know why I find those videos so fucking funny, but I do.
I haven't seen those for a while, yes. Under 5 means you get less than 5 lines. Oh, I was not a kid. Okay. You said under 5. I mean, well, how would I know? You said under 5. I'm assuming you're 4 years old, 4.5. I'll just put out a new video on my channel for anybody who hasn't watched it yet if you're interested in reselling on eBay. And I should be putting out another one either tomorrow or the day after that. And I got a couple more that I'm working on. I'll even give you guys a little preview of one of the things that I'm going to be talking about. I did have the thumbnail, but I can't find it right now. But it's this thing that I found at a yard sale last weekend, and it's called Pet Elf Go, and it looks exactly like Pokemon Go. And I thought it was like Pokemon in French maybe or something, but no, it's like a complete and total knockoff. And they got like Ash Ketchum on the front and everything, and people actually sell them online, not for much, and I got a couple of them, so those would be kind of cool to put into the next video. Just try not to pay for it. Rob,
That's on your vault. That's on a different channel.
No, that's on this channel.
That's on the channel, okay. Because I have notifications on.
Yeah, I started on.
Right,
I started putting out videos on a new channel, but I was like, I'm not doing VD videos anymore, so I might as well just use this channel. I'm not going to change my name or anything. Vault makes sense for somebody who resells on eBay. I've got a vault full of junk, so.
It's true. It's true.
OG vault. Rob T says under 5 means less.
Multifaceted. Oh, here's a video. Okay, yeah, 2 days ago. Yeah, why didn't this show up in my feed, bro? It's just nothing but fucking Asmongold and fucking Hassan.
I get a lot of Asmongold stuff too, and he has really good topics that he talks about, and I usually will watch it, but sometimes I'll start watching like 5 minutes in, he's saying stupidest stuff that I've ever heard, and I'm like, I can't take this no more.
Oh, he does say some wild shit.
Like yesterday, I was trying to watch something of his, was like 5 minutes in, I was like, this dude's a fucking idiot, I'm done. Rob T says, I watched the resale show and liked it. Thank you, Rob T. I appreciate you, bro. I'm hoping to be able to
that was it.
make make it a little bit better as I go along, get better at editing, and then hopefully at some point, all the eBay resellers will start watching my channel because there's some big eBay reselling channels out there. Just buy hats from now on. That's what I learned. I buy a lot of hats. You see that hat that I sold in that video? And I just sold one today, my Indiana hat, for $25. And these are hats that I pay like 50 cents each for. Bro, we have a new drug in town, stronger than fent, taking out a ton of users. Oh my God, that's horrible. In Canada, you would think it would hit a place like New York and California first. I don't think we need anything stronger than fent right now. It's called Dream or something. Oh, so Ronnie knows about it. Sold at gas stations like super meth. That is how a lot of these drugs start, where they're like legal at first because you don't have to have FDA approval to sell some pills at the gas station. Anybody, I could do it. I could put some sugar in a pill and sell it right now. And people
yeah, horny goat weed.
People are putting out stuff that ends up later being categorized as drugs because they're really dangerous. The stuff RFK came out and warned parents about, the dream stuff, I don't remember him talking about it. I don't think RFK knows anything about it.
I don't know. I mean, the answer to that is I don't know.
Yeah, he says he don't know. Holy moly. Yeah. Sounds rough. I had kids over here in Cleveland ask me to buy it for them. They're addicted already. Ugh. And you can just buy it at the store, too. That's crazy. One dude running through the mall last week naked. Another chick passed out in the middle of the street with a cart full of stolen stuff. It's getting rough out here. What do you think about what do you think about legalizing drugs, Mo? Because some countries have all drugs legalized. It's just that you have to be on government premises and do the drugs under supervision. But then, I mean, do you like that? What do you think? We gotta do something.
Yeah, I mean, again, I feel like you just have to look at the data, right? Like, people smoke weed, nothing happens. Like, people don't die. They don't fucking freak out. They don't fucking, go on fucking murder sprees and shit. But when people do, amphetamines, uppers, downers, lefters, and righters. I don't even fucking know half the shit these kids are doing nowadays. But dude, they do all sorts of wild shit. Alcohol too. I throw alcohol in there too, because you know I know so many chill people growing up where it's like, dude, alcohol fucking ruined these people, man.
Yeah, alcohol's way
Ruined
worse than
them.
a lot of stuff. 100%.
Yeah, ruined. You know. But
not
yeah,
worse
I don't
than
know.
this new stuff. Phew.
But yeah, so when I was watching that Aiden Ross stream, right? Even like Mr. Beast, I guess he had like a skit called like Mr. Lean or something. And I don't like how these fucking people, man, they glorify this fucking new age weird designer drug shit. Like it's so here's what I've been watching now 2-0, right? So they back then they were talking about roofies and like the 90s, drugs or whatever.
Yep.
And it's really no different when I see like Aiden Ross and Mr. B sitting there just having casual conversations about this lean shit. And like they're making like little tongue in cheek jokes like, oh, you don't really do it, but you do it, but you don't really do it, but you do it. You know what I mean? It's like, and these kids are sitting home,
Yeah.
like, oh, let me start doing fucking lean because fucking Mr. Lean does it,
That's crazy.
I don't know, bro.
Yeah, and
I don't know, I
especially
think-
those people who are primarily watched by kids. Ronnie Lido says it's a kratom thing. I was told kratom was completely fine. You're supposed to eat it if you're a bodybuilder or something. Are you saying that it's bad for you?
Was that K2?
I don't
That
know.
K2 crap?
I don't know. I'm not as into the drugs these days. I used to know all about them in college, I swear. But no, I heard about kratom and they were like commercials and stuff about it. Like, this is good for you. Eat it before you work out and you get great gains. Now there's people saying that it's a drug. I don't know. I've never done it.
I always told people growing up, because I always smoked weed and played basketball, smoked weed, played hockey. Did I feel like I was a little different with my reaction? Maybe sometimes if I was like sluggish, tired. But I don't know, bro. Now you actually see like the health benefits of like smoking weed and pumping iron or smoking weed and going for a run. Just because of the way like it affects your body chemistry and your blood and everything. Like they say it's actually beneficial. And I don't know, man. It's just kind of cool how weed became like this super drug in the 2020s.
I know when I smoked before I hooped, I would be on point, just hitting jumpers like never before. Like it helped me shoot for real.
Or you'd be 2 for 10, but you didn't really give a shit because you were high
That
on
might
some
be
good
it too,
shit.
and just having
Your
a good old
teammates didn't
time.
like it, but
Now,
know.
do you know about the guy who pitched for the Houston Astros in the 1980s or maybe 70s? But every game he pitched, he told later he was on acid.
Wait, what? Who was it?
I will pull this up.
You actually told me this before, and I don't think I ever heard it. I know it wasn't Catfish Hunter, right? Fuck
Definitely not. It wasn't no Hall of Famer.
That
He
would
was,
make
like,
sense if it was him.
Really
but
good. Let me see if
Huh.
I can find it. Oops. It says the claim of pitching every game under the influence of drugs, specifically LSD, was Doc Ellis in the 1970s. He threw a no-hitter
Ellis.
on LSD.
See, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like the game was probably over, and he's still sitting there on the mound, like warming up for the 10th inning. You know what I mean? This guy had no clue.
He came to
That's
the game
crazy.
with curlers in his hair several times. And he was tripping. He said he was tripping every time he pitched. I mean, that's crazy. And he threw a
Curl.
no-hitter.
We had a Jerry curl going on.
Maybe he was inventing it. Kratom is highly addictive. It's good for you, but you can become dependent on it. Oh, and addicted. Kratom almost killed my mom. Jeez Louise. Okay, so apparently it's not good for you. Like I said, I'd only heard a little bit about it, and they were acting like it was really good for you. Anyone doing any drug before 23 is sketchy mental illness-wise? Depends on what you consider a drug, because some people say caffeine is a drug, and so is fast food. Didn't smoke or do anything until I was 25, says Ronnie Lido. I was smoking a pack a day at age 15, my dude. Steve Jobs loves
Yeah, I
acid.
started smoking cigarettes when I was 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, we smoked about a pack a day.
I remember Marlboro Reds were like $2 a pack, maybe even $1 a pack at one point. Stop,
Bro,
I mean, we stole them.
We we had so back when we started smoking cigarettes, right? We had, and I don't smoke anymore, but they were the 5-packs, the half cartons, right?
Yeah.
But they were buy 3 get 2 free.
Ooh, that's a good deal.
So back then, cigarette had like $2.35 a pack, something like that.
Mhm.
So yeah, it would cost you like $6-7, and you get 5 packs.
That's a good deal. That's a really good deal. One of those
Yes,
says-
I was actually doing the math today on the way home from the vape shop, and I was like, wow. So I paid 30. Basically, I paid $37.50 for 2 50 milliliter bottles, and one bottle pretty much lasts me a week vaping.
Yeah.
So I pretty much spend, 37.50 every 2 weeks, so it's about 75 a month on vape juice, right?
Right.
But if you put that in comparison to cigarettes, Marlboros are $10, $11 a pack here.
Jeez, I think there's 7. I haven't bought one in so long, but I think they're like 6 or 7 around here.
Yeah, see, I would never. I bought a few packs in New York when they were 10, 10.50, but I felt dirty every time I did it.
That's a lot.
And I just got to the point where I was like, I can't do it anymore.
I used to buy cartons of Newports for $10. I can't believe it's one pack. Ronaldo says, stop drinking other than like 1 or 2 drinks a year after around 23 years old. Peterborough is where Denio sees at. In general, right now, it's everywhere. Sad thing is, it used to be I know, I wouldn't think of Canada as a place that has all those drugs. Ronnie Lotto says, Ashton showed me what dying felt like. If you died forever, over and over again, it was insane. Very, what's that
Well,
word?
acid's great.
Very
but, I mean...
an industrial feeling, like being ground up in a machine and pushed lower and lower forever. Dang, that sounds wild. I mean, I've had some crazy acid trips myself, but I tried to do too much back then because I was afraid that I'd have a bad trip, which I don't think I kind of did one time, but not like a really bad trip. I could tell you a story about a friend of mine in college who had a really bad trip. It changed his life.
Yeah, let's go trip for trip story, because I know we got a few minutes. I'll give you a good one too. Go ahead.
Kryptonic says, highly addictive withdrawals. I had to wean her off of it for 6 weeks because that's the kratom stuff. Ah, wow, that's crazy. We were always known as the toughest town in Canada. Now you're known as the leanest town. Apparently drugs have a high success rate. Apparently. Kryptonic says, I have never smoked a cigarette ever. I stopped drinking 15 years ago. Dang. Pretty impressive.
Yeah,
I
I
never
just smoked a
smoked
cigarette in like
once.
10, 12 years, some shit like that.
I've smoked one every once in a while when I didn't have a e-cig. Native Reserve sells super cheap smokes. Oh, I didn't know they had Native Reserves in Canada like that, but okay. That's a good place to go to get your cigarettes. All right, so
That's where my aunt got hers.
In Canada?
No, the Indian
Reserves,
reservation here in Long Island.
I didn't know they had their own cigarettes, but I guess that makes sense. Yeah. They probably grow their own tobacco too. But yeah, my acid story was my friend in college freshman year. He took some acid, and I saw him that night because I was working the desk at our dormitory. He came in, and he told me he was tripping. All you could see his eyes, whatever. He left, and then I never saw him again. And then what I found out a few days later was that they found him running around with the Bible butt naked on campus, and then the police chased him to under a tree, and he ended up getting expelled and sent home after that.
Huh.
And I think it was his first time ever taking acid.
Yeah, so we had paper hits and we had gel hits.
Mm-hmm.
And we always tried to go for the gel. Yeah, they were so much more potent.
Yeah.
And we took them one night. And, dude, we were so fucked up, right? Oh, shit, how old were we? 18? It had to be 17, 18, 19, somewhere in that range. I was driving. So we're up all night. We're fucking pissing off my dad, right? Making noise at like 5:30 in the morning. He's like, you want to fuck keep me awake? I'll fucking keep you guys awake. And he's sitting there like fucking with a hammer, fixing like the door hinge that really didn't need to be fixed just to make noise.
4 in the morning?
And yeah, but we're sitting there laughing, bro. Like, joke's on him, bro. We're fucking tripping balls, right? So we're like, yo, fuck this. Let's get out of here. I'm like, let's go to Six Flags. Bro, Six Flags is like 2.5 hours. I'm tripping balls. I used to drive on acid quite a bit, which... Listen, I don't really recommend this type of shit, but I feel like my brain and my mind was like a video game. Never felt like in danger. But I drove 2.5 hours to fucking Six Flags, bro. The entire parkway is on fire. I'm looking to my left, bro. I'm looking to my right. Everything's in flames, but I'm just driving down the highway, just fucking 2.5 hours blasting music with my homies. Smoke. Bro, and that's the crazy part. Not only did we do that, I don't know about you guys, but like, we were blatantly retarded with smoking weed while driving back then. I wouldn't do it nowadays. Like, I get pulled over, bro, and like you open your window and it's just fucking smoke pouring out. But back then, I feel like we did that shit like there was no tomorrow.
We did too. Definitely.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like I said, acid to me was always enjoyable. Didn't do it too much, a few times, just to kind of, experiment with it. But you ever hear of the Hawaiian Baby Woodrose trip?
No.
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
So there's like some people talk about it. If you take like the morning glory seed from like a flower shop,
Yeah.
and you grind them up and drink it, you'll trip a little bit. You ever hear that?
Yep.
Yeah. So there's a more potent version of it. It's called the Hawaiian Baby Woodrose seed. And this is when the internet first started like really rolling, like where you can get some crazy shit on the internet. And it was probably like what, 2001? It was after 9/11. It was like 2001. And I'm hanging out with these dudes that I met. And like, yo, bro, we trip on these things. Fucking Hawaiian Baby Woodrose. It's a seed that you get from Hawaii. And it's got this hairy fucking coating on it so that animals don't eat it. But apparently it has like one of the main ingredients of like LSD, like the lysergic acid part of it or whatever. And you would buy them, you shave off the hairy part, and you grind them up and you drink it. So we did. Bro, I tripped for 16 fucking hours straight.
Ugh.
Hard.
Sounds horrible.
Yo, it actually became horrible. We went to go see fucking Hannibal, the movie. And when the dude starts cutting his face off, I ran out the movie like a little bitch, screaming.
I don't blame
I
you.
wound up in the parking lot in the middle of winter, tripping balls, trying to light cigarettes with these fucking matches, and these two old people like came out of Applebee's and they saw me struggling. They come over, dude. And they're like, "You want a lighter?" And I freaked out and ran away, bro. And they were just trying to help me, and I just, bro. So, but yeah, so Hawaiian Baby Woodrose. I don't know if anybody in chat ever heard of that, but dude, don't experiment with shit like that. Like I tell people all the time now, I'm like, even now, like give it. I don't know about like if you have a vape shop or something. We have like these mushroom vapes. You ever see these?
No.
Bro, I talk to people and they're like, bro, I tripped out so hard. And the only thing I can think of is those Hawaiian Baby Woodrose seeds. Like a trip that you just can't control. Like it never ends, or I thought it was never going to end. You know what I mean?
Do not try this at home, kids.
But yeah,
I don't think I
I don't
would
know if
try
I.
that.
Yeah, I talk to people that swear by them. Like, bro, it's so cool, man. It's like a mellow mushroom trip, and I'm like, I don't know if I want that at 43.
Yeah, I'm too old for that
Tripping out
stuff.
at 18, 19 was way different. 43, I'm like, I've seen some shit, bro. You know, I don't know if I can handle it at 43.
Planet Light Up says, dark room, fast for 24 hours, turn off all electronics in the room, and be in a safe space like your house. Close your eyes and meditate and watch the show for hours upon hours and never back down. Is this with or without drugs? Accept everything being shown to you. What are you talking about, bro? But morning glory seeds is a drug used in ancient cultures, some of them. Yeah, the ancient cultures are the ones that discovered all these drugs because they tried everything. Which some people died trying stuff. I'm sure he was like, oh, don't eat that one. Forget the mechanism that is in them. I'd have to look it up. Yeah, don't try those at home. I heard the morning seeds are really bad too. Like the morning glory seeds give you some crazy hallucinations. Even when I take mushrooms.
Yeah, like I said, that's on the mild scale of the Hawaiian Baby Woodrose. That's like the super, like if you had like the Nintendo and then the Super Nintendo. Yeah, this is like the Super Nintendo version. And like I said, I would never recommend that to my worst enemy. I drove home on that shit. I remember seeing my dad. He wanted to have a conversation at like 7 in the morning. He was just waking up. I was like, fuck that, dude.
Like, no thanks.
Ran in, put the covers over my head, and it was like 10 hours that shit kept on going. Whew. And apparently, my boy just said cigarettes are 17 a pack here.
17 a pack.
That's crazy.
I guess they're putting on like taxes and stuff, and I don't disagree with that. I like the idea of taxing away stuff that's really, really bad for you like that, but 17 is crazy.
Yeah, I don't mind it either if it went to fucking proper shit, but
True.
they say, oh, New York State taxing it fucking half, you know, the value of the pack. Cool. Fix my roads.
Yeah, really.
Like,
you should have lots of
you
money
know?
then, because there's a lot of smokers
Yeah.
out there.
Exactly. I mean, like I said, I don't know anybody that smokes anymore.
I don't
Crazy,
know many
actually.
people either. Maybe my sister.
I don't really talk to a lot of people in the real world, but even like I guess online people I talk to, I don't really know anybody that smokes.
I know they make
Real
fun of
cigarettes.
people. Like there was some, I think it was Moist Critical or something. Like they thought that was like hilarious that somebody was smoking a cigarette in one of the videos they're watching. Like, oh my god, this person still smokes cigarettes. Like, what's wrong with you? It's so crazy now. But a lot of people vape like me, and I think that's at least better for you. So I can't quit vaping right this second, but at least I don't smoke cigarettes no more. I'm not putting that tar and ammonia in my lungs.
20, what are we going on, 23 years now? They've been testing e-cigarettes and vapes. And the only thing that they can find, and this happened a lot early on, was that these companies that were using like that glycerol, certain ones, like vitamin E or whatever,
Yeah.
that it's not good to vape. Even though it's like FDA approved and shit like that for like food use or something like cooking,
Right.
it wasn't really necessarily good to vape. So that's where a lot of like popcorn lung and stuff like that. But the long-term effects of vaping, I don't know, dude. Maybe it's there, but 20 going on 23 years now, they've been testing this shit, dude. Like I feel like if it was impacting like crazy amounts of fucking people, I feel like people would just be getting cancer and all sorts of weird shit out of nowhere.
Right. Especially by now. And
Yeah.
even if they do a little bit, it's probably still not going to be as bad as if you were smoking cigarettes that entire time. Daniel C says, first experience with acid was by accident. That's got to be the worst. I went to a rave to sell
Oh,
it.
that sucks.
Oh, okay, not thinking I was tripping. Sorry, this text is really small. Not thinking I was ripping tabs. Fingered all night. What? And next thing I know, okay, so you got them on your fingers.
Oh, it absorbs.
Oh,
Yep.
okay, and you had to start tripping. Had the best night of my life, though. I guess if you figure out that you're tripping midway through, it could still be fun. But if I didn't know I was going to be tripping and I just started tripping, that would be scary as heck, in my opinion. What's up, Sam Rax?
Well, that was the word, actually. So, speaking of which, real quick, I don't mind tripping. And it has to be a controlled environment, mushrooms, acid when I took it a few times. Tried like MDMA, whatever. But when someone handed me a lace joint of angel dust at a Megadeth concert, but he handed it to my boy, so I thought my boy lit it, not realizing that he got it from someone next to him, bro. And that shit was laced with angel dust.
Ooh.
Like I said, when you trip and you don't want to trip and you're not expecting to trip, that shit's way different. That was like the worst. Oof.
Probably make your heart start racing and stuff. Get
Oh yeah,
anxiety.
fucking sweating, bro. I was like 10 people back from the front of the stage or whatever.
You smashed in there then, huh?
It just got to the point where I had like some crazy big old Mexican dude with like a biker jacket on, just smushing me. I'm tripping balls. I'm seeing colors. I basically just fought my way to the front and climbed over the fence because that's what people would do when they mosh surf, like the mosh pit.
Right.
And whoever basically got thrown over the front, security would just escort him around the side. So I knew if I went to the front, they would just throw me out to the side and I'd be able to get out.
Smart.
So that's what I did. But dude, that was like the worst. Yeah.
Samurai says, thoughts on Randy going bankrupted? Did he actually go bankrupt?
Is that true?
Probably not. I don't know.
He wouldn't admit that right now.
I wonder what his.
There's no way.
I wonder what he's tweeting about when it comes to this OMI information, because it's pretty crazy. The fact that we're no longer going to be able to cash out through the app anymore. I'm sure everybody that's a VV fanboy is going to say, this is great news. This has got to be great news.
Oh, of course it's great.
We'll find
Because if you
out
pack
together.
Randy's bags and everyone uses his fucking stacker and there's some sort of burn mechanism on the back end and shit, whatever. Yeah, sure. It's good for those people. Great.
I don't see anything about it. He's live tonight, I think, if you guys want to check him out with Doctor of Stuff and Crypto Ring to get their opinions on it. It's kind of probably going to be interesting to see what they have to say about it. I'm sure they'll find a way to spin it to the positive. But hopefully my man's not bankrupt yet and Samrax is just trolling. All right, man, it's about time for us to wrap it up for this week. But this is our Tuesday show. We do every Tuesday from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So come back and hang out with us again next week, and we'll have new topics to talk about. Mo, what do you got planned for this upcoming week? Anything special?
Well, it is championship week on PFL. Once again, I am in profit, a few $100 racing alone. Pat myself on the back because other barns are not so lucky. But other than that, just racing. I do want to say real quick that the Tales from the Crypto OG Vault channel monetary valuation is now up to $17.4 trillion. Okay. That's up from the valuation of last week. I think we were at like 950 billion. We've actually got new investors, so we're now up to $17.4 trillion. So appreciate those guys who invest in the channel. Vault, thank you. Chat, see you guys next Tuesday.
All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for participating. Keep your eye out for some more eBay reselling videos on my channel this week. And we'll see you next week. Later.